do this?
I will. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, hit it.
It is going.
Oh, it's a wonderful day to cruise.
It's like Mr. Rogers. Doesn't he sound like Mr. Rogers? It's a beautiful day to cruise.
It is a beautiful day. So we are on our way to West Palm Beach, and we're going to hop on Margaritaville at sea.
And this particular ship, Margaritaville at Sea, is the one cruise ship that we have been on more than any other cruise ships. And we're not talking about lines. We're not talking about, like we've probably cruised Carnival more times than we've cruised Bahama Paradise than Margaritaville at Sea. Although it may be close, I don't know. But this cruise ship is the ship we have been on more than any other cruise ship.
I think we've been on Bahama Paradise / Margaritaville at Sea 10 times. Chrissy thinks it's a little bit less than that, but I think it's around 10, maybe 11. But we've been on this ship 6 or 7 times.
Margaritaville at Sea?
No.
The ship, Grand Classica.
The ship.
Which was Grand Classica originally, and then has now been changed to Margaritaville at Sea. And it just came out of dry dock a few weeks ago.
Yeah, beginning of this month.
Beginning of this month, with another $10 million.
Something like that. $10 million renovation. They did some things. They put a hamburger grill up by the pool. They put a pickleball court. They have a new show. So they're doing some things that are making it a little bit more attractive. We really like the ship. I like the ship.
We like the ship. We also like the cruise line. It's affordable. It's a quick. We can do it on the weekend where we don't have to take time off work. Hop on Friday, hop off on Monday mostly.
Yeah.
Or hop off on Sunday. On Friday, off on Sunday. Or, it's 2 days. So it's West Palm to Freeport, and then Freeport back to West Palm. I would say that if I had my druthers and if I were queen of the cruise line industry, I would love if they would be able to go to another port in the Bahamas, Nassau even though we visited Nassau 2 billion times, Nassau is a tourist friendlier port than Freeport is. There's not a lot to do in Freeport. So, or even if they were able to use one of the private islands, Half Moon Cay, I know that's probably cruise line specific, so they probably can't do that, but I would like that. So anyway, Fred Scott, we're three minutes in. What else do you want to say about the Grand Classica / Margaritaville?
Well, we like the ship. We like the size of the ship. We like the intimacy of the ship.
We like the crew. They are so good. So family oriented.
I think the ship holds like 1,600 people, so it's not a real large ship. It's real intimate, more traditional type sailing.
Kind of like the Love Boat. The Love Boat.
It doesn't have a big atrium or anything like that. It has a couple small pools, but it's just easy to get around. It's perfect for 2 days. And the JBB steakhouse, I think, is really good.
The steakhouse does. The best steak I've ever eaten in my life was a filet mignon from that steakhouse. Before that, it was a filet mignon. It was what was called a baseball sirloin. No, from Bourbon Barrel Beef and Ale in Waynesville. Shout out to that restaurant that's actually no longer there.
Yeah.
But the best filet I've ever had was from the steakhouse on the Grand Classica at the time.
So what was your most memorable?
Oh, the most memorable.
So this is the first time she's ever called me a genius. Probably the last time too.
Oh, I don't know if it's the last time. The last time. I could call you a genius later today, maybe. Okay. The most memorable cruise was the last. No, it was the last sailing that we went on of the Grand Classica Bahama Paradise.
Okay.
It was in January of 2022, and we had just gotten off the Carnival Horizon.
Yeah, I think so.
For a Martin Luther King weekend, and there was a big snowstorm in Waynesville, and our flights were canceled. So we got off the cruise on Monday. We get to the Fort Lauderdale airport. Our flights are canceled. No flights out of Fort Lauderdale till Thursday. So I'm starting to look for hotel rooms, thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to have a Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night hotel room.
We're going to $300, $400
yeah,
a night.
and the closest, the best things the best deals I could find were at least $100 a night. I think on Monday night we had one that was like $120 a night, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be so expensive with food and all that. So he, while I'm on my phone looking for hotels, comes up and is like, hey, I just booked us on a cruise. I'm like, what? And he said we had that free cruise from when
future cruise credit.
It was a future cruise credit from a cruise that had been moved
canceled from the pandemic.
And he booked us on a Tuesday. I get on the boat on Tuesday, off the boat on Thursday, sailing of the Grand Classica, and it was
less than $100.
It took, he had to pay port fees, so it was less than $100. All the food was paid for, and then our accommodations for 2 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's genius.
We still had some drink tickets. The way Margaritaville at Sea Bahama Paradise does it, or back then they gave you drink tickets, and if you didn't use all the tickets, you could bring them on the next cruise. So we still had 5 of those tickets left.
And because he packs a cruise bag, those tickets were still in his cruise bag, even though we had not intended to get on that ship. So we had free drinks.
We had we had 2 COVID tests in our suitcase.
Because he overpacks.
We went to the port. They did the COVID test right at the terminal, and we
got on and spent, and we had it. But the coolest thing about that cruise, was that it was almost like for $100, he had booked a cruise line just to us. The ratio on that particular cruise was 200, because they had cut down on staff because of the COVID. That was still when COVID was finishing and cruising was just barely opening up. So they had 200 crew members on that boat and 100 passengers. And we went and ate at the steakhouse, and we were the only people in the steakhouse. In the main dining room, we were the only people in the main dining room. At the Serenity deck, where the adult-only pool was, we were the only people there. And on the hot tub, we might have seen 5 other people the entire cruise.
The crew was so happy to have us on the ship. They were so we got to know them, like, personally. We got to really talk to them for a long period of time, when a lot of times you don't have time to talk to crew members. You can get 5-10 minutes maybe, but
they're just too busy. They're too busy doing their thing.
And one of the other cool things was they were in the midst of transitioning from Bahama Paradise to Margaritaville at Sea, so they were redoing the rooms. We got to go and
peeking in the doors.
Yeah, I snuck into one of the rooms while they were renovating it over, and so that was pretty cool, just watching it be transformed.
Yeah, best cruise ever.
Well, it was in the top 5 for me for sure.
Yeah, but it was really cool. It was like a private cruise.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are nearing the port, and this is the Father's Day cruise.
Father's Day cruise, yeah. Happy Father's Day to everybody.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Shout out to Matt Arrowwood. Happy Father's Day.
Shout out to my dad, Jim Cook.
Jim Cook, happy Father's Day. Everybody, all the other fathers.
Shout out to Fred Scott Lawrence.
Yeah,
Happy Father's Day, man.
I'm a pops.
Yeah. All right. We will, we are actually going to hopefully make some videos on the ship so that you can see Margaritaville at Sea.
We will give you an update on the new
renovations.
New renovations. I'm excited about the new hamburger grill. Hope it's as good as Guy's Burger.
I will say that this is the ship that has the almond croissants, so I'm going to have to limit myself.
All right, go Rays.
Go Rays.